Welcome everybody to the reflections part of Young Jedi. If you didn't know Young Jedi had reflections, we're here to talk about it, and we're going to open that pack. I got to admit that this is the best looking reflections pack of all the reflections they did across Star Wars, Star Trek. I just love the way this pack looks, and I'm really eager to see what's inside. And we're going to talk about what this set is. This was like was this after or before Bounty? But this was pretty short printed. I think there's like maybe
extremely short printed. I believe in the group we were deducing, there's maybe 1,800 boxes is the highest number we've seen.
It's like, so these sets, well, sets 1, 2, 3, really 4 are pretty cheap and affordable, and everywhere these are not.
Yeah, this one is box 1366.
So yeah, they didn't even include like more than 4 digits there. So
yeah.
So I think that this is where things get expensive. This is, the rarest of the rare kind of, and we're really lucky to be able to open up a pack here. But let's talk about the set a little bit. There's some really interesting and I would say a little bit of goofy cards in here. So
yeah, I would say, they did in this set. Of course, one of the draws is the foils because they reprinted some good cards in foils. One of the interesting things they did is this set did come out just before Boonta Eve. So they actually released 12 key cards from Boonta Eve as foil. And at the time this set came out, that was the only way you could get them because they were preview foils before Boonta Eve came out. So that was kind of to drum up some hype for that. But all the other foils were obviously foils of cards that already existed. But I'll just show you here kind of, on the foil front. Here's like the previews. We were talking in the Boonta Eve video about the Anakin's friends. So there's like the 2 Anakin's friends right there, and the starship.
I thought that little green guy was Greedo. I thought that was Greedo, but I guess
that's Wald. He's a Rodian, but that's one of hands down one of the best cards in the game, which is super interesting because a little alien friend that no one's ever heard of. That's the 6th Destiny 1 deploy, pull any character. So weird that he's that good, but yeah, he was one of the preview foils. So that's the 60 foils. But the other thing that this set introduced in terms of actual new content for the game was 3 different card types. And so the best of those was Armed and Dangerous, which I'll show you a couple of those here.
So that's a type of card. It's called Armed.
The card was called Armed and Dangerous. So if you know Young Jedi, weapon cards are very overpowered in Young Jedi. And so they said, hey, why don't we just do a permanent weapon, basically, more or less, so that you, instead of having to match yourself up with your orange dot weapon, you just have your weapon smashed onto your card natively. So pretty absurd idea when it comes to Young Jedi to be able to allow this. So like this Aura Singh statistically here, for example, deploys for 4 because you add up the deploy counters and is a 7 plus a destiny draw just on its own, one single card. So that again, total power creep here, pretty obvious, and very short print run on this. So it's very difficult to get the desired number of these cards.
They also just look like not real cards. The first time I saw
they look very Photoshop-esque because they literally did just take 2 copies of the card, layer them over each other, and then have these little black squares in the top right and top left that they just did nothing about and just left as black. So they look fake, but this is an actual Armed and Dangerous card. It's the 2 cards layered over each other and then this black border around the whole thing. So graphically, not great layout, but broken in terms of gameplay. That's the one new card type. The second new card type, again, similar in graphic design style, which was combo cards. So what they did was they took an effect and a battle card, just shrunk them down and jammed 2 of them onto the same card lengthwise. Also, so here's the card. Here's the card up and down, and it's just 2 cards smashed onto each other. So it's literally just, instead of having just one, you get to choose one or the other. So very versatile. And again, these cards are very good. Like this, you can use as an effect to pull a Jedi, or you can use it as a battle card. Also, they introduced this, some of them, this I think is the only one, has 2 different battle cards. So you can choose either battle card when you're using this one. And so again, just total power creep because it literally is outclassing either copy of these two cards because it's just giving you the option of one or the other. And in some cases, drastically increasing the destiny. So like this is one of my favorite cards. You have been well trained, a card that you would never play because it's a one destiny that allows two of the same character to fight together, but they pasted it on this garbage effect that's a 5 destiny. So now you can effectively have this card, and if you draw it for destiny, you just choose to use the 5. So there, there's just again total power creep going on here of them just jamming 2 cards onto the same card.
So that's the second type, and the third type.
The third type then is actually the fail, I would say, of the set in terms of, I would say you almost never use, and that is they combined 2 battle cards onto one and did kind of the Star Wars style. Probably the best graphic design here, where they did the image with the slash across it like you see in Star Wars CCG. But the problem with all of these cards is they decided that the destiny should be reduced. And if you play Young Jedi, you know typically that destiny is king. And so because all of these combo cards were less destiny than their original counterparts, even though you might get a couple extra dots of power, it's usually not worth it to sink your destiny that low, especially in the battle card slot, to be playing like 3 destiny cards. So those were called combo cards. These ones that I had just looked at previously, I don't believe I identified. They call these double impact because it's a double card. These again combo because it's more similar to the Star Wars CCG combo where you're putting the 2 on the same card and combining the abilities. And then armed and dangerous again was the weapon ones.
Any kind of notable foils to show off here? So 60 foils, 10 ultra rare foils, which is just a collecting pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can just run through a binder with you here of the foils that are in this set really quick here.
Binders full of foils. I love a good foil binder.
Yeah. So this is the some of the notable light side foils. This Qui-Gon and this Anakin are ultra rare. The one frustrating thing about this set is there is no identifier of rarity of foils. And so you just have to get a checklist or else just know what is ultra rare. But it's cards from all sets, again, including Duel of the Fates, including Boon to Eve. Like, for example, the ultra rare Qui-Gon foil here, or I should say, this is ultra rare in Boon to Eve. This is the ultra rare Qui-Gon from Duel of the Fates, but in Reflections, it's not an ultra rare foil. So you wouldn't know that, of course, because it still has that 6-pointed star we talked about, but it's not an ultra rare foil. And so some of the choices of rarity was weird. And like this Queen Amidala, for example, I believe is ultra rare. So very arbitrary in terms of what's going to be ultra rare, but they still have some, nice selection of characters in this. There's a Jira, another one of those, the Anakin's friend type mechanic. So that's the light side ones. And then, and I want to say, Matt, a box of these is only 18 packs. So to get a 60 card foil set is tremendously difficult to do. And I think this tank's ultra rare.
That's random.
And I don't even know one of these Sebulbas might be ultra rare, but yeah, the choices of ultra rare are random. I do know this is probably the most valuable foil in the set. I know that's ultra rare, Darth Maul, the Sith Assassin. But again, Darth Maul, Student of the Dark Side, the Duel of the Fates one, that is not ultra rare, but again, a highly desirable foil just because it's of an ultra rare card. So it'd be like if they made like Emperor and Jedi Luke in Star Wars CCG and then they just weren't ultra rare for some reason. So there's some more of the dark side foils. Again, dark side in this game is interesting to think because, again, we talked about this before. It's Jabba, it's Newt Gunray, it's Aurra Sing, it's Watto. There's not a lot of mains because once you get past Darth Maul and Darth Sidious, that's who your mains are at that point for the dark side. So, and there's the last ones. And there's like what a page of Armed and Dangerous cards looks like, other than one I took out down there. But
what is Chancellor Valorum armed with? He's like justice or something, or like
armed
bureaucracy.
Matt with a planetary shuttle. Which again is this is actually a very nice card because again you don't suffer from that low destiny 3 on his planetary shuttle. You choose him to be a 4, and so for a 4 deploy, he is a 5 plus a destiny anywhere, 7 plus a destiny in the Galactic Senate, and if you have his effect card, which adds 2 to his power, he'd be a 9 plus a destiny in the Galactic Senate. So he can really hold his own in the Galactic Senate as a 9 plus a destiny. So yeah, you get some interesting scenarios like that. Like there's actually a very good Boss Nass deck. You have to have 10 copies of this Boss Nass card right here that I may be one of the only people in the world who do. But you get weird stuff like that. And yeah, here's like Valorum has this Senate Guard effect that says add 2 to Valorum, Massa Meta, Saitaria, and each senator and Coruscant Guard. So yeah, you'll be fighting with some very mid B characters, and they're end up being the main characters in this game. So,
very cool. It makes me want to kind of collect this myself, but I'm excited for the pack opening.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one too. So yeah, these packs legitimately trade pretty actively at about $50. So they pretty much, you see people listing them every so often, but they pretty much sell out right away at 50. So I'd put the value of this probably closer to 60 at this point. But yeah, they're not easy to come by. And it does have 1 guaranteed foil and then 2 of the premium cards, which are usually the combo or the double impact. But if you get an Armed and Dangerous, that's better. I think there's only 12 of the Armed and Dangerous characters in this set. And there's, maybe 15 of the combos and 15 of the double impacts, something like that. Don't quote me on those numbers, but they're pretty.
So I guess what are we chasing here? Any ultra rare foil, but Maul in particular, and then I guess the Boss Nass.
Yeah, ultra rare foil. Any good Armed and Dangerous character like that Boss Nass or Aura Singh, any ultra rare foil, or the other 2 big foils to look for is the Mace Windu and the Qui-Gon from Duel of the Fates are really nice pulls. So
okay,
there's that pack. I agree with you. This is my favorite pack wrapper too. And here, before we do that, because we can do that as like the grand finale of the video, let me show you the box here too. The box was graphically designed beautiful too, because they used the Theed Palace in the background with this Amidala's starship flying, and then the characters on the top there. So I think they did a fantastic job on this. And even like they did the Starfield design here with other characters in the image, similar to the booster pack there. You've got pictures that don't even appear on cards, some of these, but as that reflection Starfield. And then they do it on the side there. There's Valorum, Matt, right there for you.
I wonder what happens to him after he leaves politics. He just quietly retires in a farm.
That I don't know. I'll have to look on Wikipedia and see, but don't know his story after that. But yeah, he presumably, nothing bad happened to him, so he must.
Well, he's probably going to get a Disney show, so don't worry. It's going to be Valorum.
Valorum, Disney Valorum before the Empire. Yeah. So yeah, all right. Well, let's get into it then. So here's the pack. See, I didn't even know this. This is 7 Jedi points. What a weird thing.
God. And you said those, and I think you get the Shmi, right? The Shmi.
Yeah, you could. Everything else is in like multiples of 5, and then they just throw a 7 out here. It's like, come on, guys, give us 10 for this.
Chaos. Like this program's gonna be discontinued by the time you open this project.
Yeah, and I don't know if they were like if it was like less than $10 MSRP, but I want to say even when these first came out, like in 2002, it would have been I believe they were, or no, it would have been 2001 still, mid 2001. I believe they were over or up at that $10 MSRP range. When
I remember Reflections being like $8 a pack or something. So yeah, they're always a little more expensive.
Yeah,
so,
and there are 20 cards in this pack, so it's a thick pack.
So is it going to be 1 premium, 2 premiums, and a foil?
So it's 1 foil and then 2 premiums.
Okay, got it.
And then 17 random, and they will insert, as I recall, German Menace of Darth Maul into this too, but I think that's the only weird thing. Other than most of it, I think is Menace of Darth Maul and Jedi Council. So here, I'll crack this open here now. So there's the one last look at that.
We're going full screen for this.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see something good right on the face this time and can have it be a surprise. All right, so there's starting off as expected a Menace of Darth Maul uncommon card, the staff, more Menace of Darth Maul.
Could these be alpha or beta? No, they're all alpha.
Yeah, good call. Let's check that. Let me look. Interesting, Matt. These are beta. Both of the first two are beta.
Yeah, interesting. So I guess we're just tossing everything from the warehouse in.
Yeah, so these are beta. All of these are beta Menace of Darth Maul.
Interesting.
And you could get the foils in there too. So actually beta Menace of Darth Maul foils would be very good, but it doesn't look like that's what we're in for. Now this, Matt, is an alpha Menace of Darth Maul. So they're doing exactly what you said. They're tossing the warehouse here because we literally did those first three were beta, and then now we're on to alpha.
20 cards is such a random amount.
It's such a, yeah. So far this has just been total garbage.
Yeah.
So 3 beta, 3 alpha. Now we're into Coruscant, or I should say Jedi Council. So yeah, 3 beta, 3 alpha, Coruscant. Yeah, and we haven't even ran by a rare at all either. So we've literally gotten just commons from those first sets. Another Coruscant. So we're up to 4 Coruscant now. There's a rare. Not bad. Now we're up to 5 Coruscant, but we did get our first rare with that Obi-Wan.
So 1 rare.
Oh, look at that. There's our foil. C-3PO. I think we pulled a C-3PO in one of our other packs, so he's our guy here, evidently. So
no, I think what is 5-star, that's just a rare foil, not an ultra rare foil. Is that right?
Yeah, there's no identifier, so that's what's annoying. Short of a checklist, there's no identifier of what's rare and what's ultra rare. So this is a regular common foil. I mean, it's a cool one, but not I wouldn't say particularly desirable. So this would have been a Boonta Eve preview because this again was released before Boonta Eve came out. So for a short time, this was the only way to get this card.
Because I think they called them super rare foils, which is funny.
I can't remember if it's super rare, very rare, or something like that.
It's just
we got his battle card there too, C-3PO, and the battle card that fights with R2-D2.
All right, and
then decent double impact there. That's the Sith one that gets you a lightsaber from your deck. And then we're back to some Menace of Darth Maul Alpha. That's the card from Battle of Naboo. Battle of Naboo.
I wonder if was this a draftable at all? I guess not really.
I don't think it was supposed to be, but you probably could have. There never really was a draft format for Young Jedi.
Yeah.
And Battle of Naboo. Yeah, so that last chunk was 5 Battle of Naboo. But overall, I'd say that's a pretty poor pack because of all the 4 pack runs that we got there, only 1 rare card, and then there was our foil and our 2 premiums.
Very cool. Well, Eric, thank you for opening a pack with us. Hopefully this is a good explainer on reflections. And guys, I really encourage you. Young Jedi is a fun game that's pretty easy to get into, and you don't have to get the reflection stuff. This game, you can build decks for $10, $20.
Yeah, you can buy multiple base sets for the cost of a single booster pack. So of this, so don't buy this if you want to play the game. You can get some base sets. I literally, Matt, I didn't tell you this. Just funny story. A seller mistakenly sent me a Menace of Darth Maul base set instead of the item I actually ordered, and I messaged him and he said, "Yeah, just keep that." So like that's the kind of value we're dealing with here. So yeah, it's very easy to get into the game. And and I guess you can tell your listeners if someone wants that set, I'm happy to send that to anyone for just the cost of shipping.
Yeah, if you made it to 19 minutes and video 6 of Young Jedi, first to
free alpha set of the first release. If you just pay shipping, I'll ship it to you.
Sounds good. Well, thanks so much for doing this series, Eric. I think we're going to have one more video of miscellaneous stuff at a later date, but I think that's all for today. And thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.